Hello, everyone. Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 602, recording on April 23rd, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another host, Kyle.
I'm another host, Dustin.
And I am probably not Cowtown enough, Tony.
You're in Cowtown. That counts.
Yeah.
Not a local.
How are you not Cowtown enough? How long do you have to live somewhere to be a local?
Wait, do you have a cowboy hat?
I do since I was 7.
There you go.
Wow.
I don't know. Well,
Cowboy boots?
no.
You don't need cowboy
Efficient.
boots. I don't even have cowboy boots.
Don't.
Come on.
I don't know.
Don't really know how to ride a horse. I've rode a horse before, but like that was also in near Calgary, but it was all the activity down in Canada.
The small town I grew up in, when I wasn't allowed to take my quad to school anymore because one of the teachers made fuss of it, took a horse for a little bit. I wasn't the only one.
Oh my god.
Oh. Dustin's the most redneck of all of us.
So bad.
Just there's a side saddle with your lever gun.
Dude, I am such a weird juxtaposition of things. I don't know how I'm allowed to exist.
I'm redneck. I've never ridden my horse to school. My parents have.
Yeah, can't say I've rode a horse to school. No.
All right. Well, tell us what you have done in the last week here, Kyle.
What I have done? Well, lowers that we picked off the table at Superstition came in. So they're Anderson Manufacturing. They're just basic forged lowers, which is all you need. It's a chunk of metal to hold parts.
Exactly.
So going through parts bags and everything, because when you have a bunch of Canadians down here for a match that pulls stuff off a table that can't go back, they end up at the build house. So yeah, going through that, figuring out builds, because I'm gonna build those rifles out, and basically they be loaners for when Canadians come down to shoot. So,
you should have a Canadian armory now, don't you?
pretty much, I think.
Slap all the sponsor parts on it.
Yeah. Well, might be some Timney triggers going in, and I don't know what I can do on optics, but that'll be money out of pocket. But people like their optics anyways, so I'll throw what I can on and make them good. Good, but
get a
not
label
Gucci.
maker on it, and just label them like
QD
loaner
everything.
rifle
So
number
like
1, loaner rifle number 2.
Well, they'll be different though. They'll be different, so you'll be able to tell them apart.
Okay.
They won't be just twins or quadruplets or however many there end up being.
gotta think about your own strategy though. You are the armorer, so you gotta make it easy to maintain.
See, I was gonna say I go the exact opposite route. When I did build outs for everybody in the house a few years ago, it was like everybody gets the same thing. So the parts are all the same, the guns are all the same, everything's this. It's why I ended up like 4 sets of like the same thing, because I went a little prop guy crazy for a minute. Everything must be uniform.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm gonna be putting the high end buffers in them. Like maybe go to like H3 buffer something, but they'll all get adjustable gas blocks because there's no reason not to go with an adjustable gas block. So they'll be able to be tuned, and just your basic bolt. See what we do for barrels. We're not gonna go high end barrel either because I don't want to spend a pile of money on these. So yeah, we'll get it figured out. One might end up being a little bit more than the other, but yeah, that's all down the road, figuring that out. Did order some parts for my spare Benelli that I have sitting here that I still haven't built out. So I ordered an inertia spring and an oversized bolt handle. And yeah, so hopefully get building on that, and because I think my main shotgun is getting tired. It needs to be just everything replaced in it, or I'll just start building a new, and we'll see. Go from there. And what else? Oh yeah, I was going to show the shotgun caddies, the shot shell caddies that I bought, because last week I was in the truck and didn't have them with me. So I also have my mag load here to compare. So this is like the original mag load. A stainless steel backplate, and like one small magnet up top, and I even have dummy rounds to show how
That
they
is
load
a
in.
Beefy backplate. Jeez.
It is a beefy backplate, but so the shell just sits on there, and it's got this little nub that kind of goes in the front of the shell, like where the crimp is.
Yeah.
So these are just a paper, not your normal like 6 or 8 point star crimp. But I like these ones because they just pull straight out. And coming from Invictus, I didn't want to change how I was pulling caddies.
Yeah.
So these new caddies from Briley, they're actually Awen Innovations. They're another UK company, I guess. But oh yeah, so on the Magload, these are actually 3D printed.
Oh, okay.
But it's a really like I'm not easy on gear. If you've watched me shoot, you know I'm not easy on gear. But they've held up incredibly.
Well, especially like depending on the material they
Like,
printed them out of, they're probably not
like
PLA.
they're really well made 3D printed caddies.
Yeah.
These ones appear to be injection molded.
Oh yes, much.
Got a little bit more magnet on there, and then it actually cups the shell a little bit, kind of like and I believe the Easy Loads cup as well as the King Competition. But it doesn't cup a lot, and I found I didn't really have to change my pull style. Also, the springs on these, the outer ones actually have a I'll pull this one if I can figure out my camera. They actually have a guide rod in there on both sides.
That's the green
To-
blue
to-
piece, right?
It's the silver pieces on the blue is just like your
Just
center
the top. Got it.
post for your spring retention, but then there's 2 bars on either side of it that kind of guide it, where like on the mag load it's a square rod, but they can kind of bind up, and especially on the new style when I pull up my 24 rounder, you'll see where it binds up a little bit in the holder. But same thing, like with this, you can just, it does end up forcing you to tilt a little bit, but you can pull straight off of it. As far as retention, they seem to really good on retention. Like, I think it's got a little bit more spring tension than the mag load, but like good. I mean, good retention.
How often do you lose rounds when you're just running around doing 3-gun things?
Typically not. The mag loads I would actually. On the mag loads, I found I hadn't quite fine-tuned my pick. Well, it just comes with practicing, where I would have my fingers in a little bit too far, and then I'd pull like the net. When I pulled a quad, I would end up knocking the other 2 off, because they do release super easy. But even on the mag load, they I know I've showed it before, but they hold in there good as well. But like, I mean, they hold in there.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty decent.
They do release amazingly easy. The Allwins or Brileys, whatever we want to call them, they a little bit more force to release, but it's still like night and day difference from like an injection molded clip style, like a Tatcom or Invictus. Like, as far as the molded ones, the Invictus are the ones I really liked before going to these Gucci ones. But then, like, Magload did come up with a different backplate. These are their pro backplate.
Golly, that's a lot of shells.
This is a 24. So
I love it.
yeah. So you can see on this one, I have chipped just a little bit there, but that is really the only damage I've seen on these. So yeah. But then you got the 28 rounder from Briley. And it just overall it seems like a nicer build. Like, I love the mag load, but these Briley / Allwins, they more care. These are more expensive to produce. I'm gonna say that.
How much are they?
Yeah, that's the question we all got.
Okay,
How much?
so the 28 rounder, which actually I was just on their website before, they actually are doing a 32 rounder.
Wow,
But the 28 rounder is $300 US.
That's a lot of money.
The 12 rounder was $130 US, and I will go to Magload here and see, which I should have had it pulled up. And
But
we'll
you got to
compare
think
with the
about
pros.
it kind of a different way. If you buy 6 STI magazines, how much is that, right? This is
and
all you need for all of your IPSC shotgun need is just this one thing.
If you're cheap, you
remember 28
3D print
rounder,
all of them.
which someone does. I'll have to pull it up on my phone.
I'm going to get mine.
Conversion.
I don't 3D print, Tony. That's the FMA, like the Chinese knockoff of the Invictus tactical one.
Okay, so we want to go from the British pound. Okay.
Yeah, British.
$300 US for the. No, that's the Magload. For the Briley, 28 rounder. 330 pounds for the Magload 28 rounder, which is $437 US.
But you said the Briley one is overall, you feel it's better made.
I do.
At least
and
better
I feel
material.
it's. And I feel it's because of maybe because of like the attention in here, like with the posts and that. It seems like there's more care or manufacturing in that, and I have to play with it. There's actually a hex key in there, so you might even be able to tune that to really like lighten up that spring or something, or add more load to it. I haven't played with that. I think I'll figure out a way to actually quantify it, but I think it has better hold than the Magload. Overall, it feels like a better caddy. Just off, I shot it in the match. That was it. So grain of salt, because I'm on the clock, not really in a critiquing mindset. It's, hey, it didn't screw me up in the match. I didn't drop a single round from over pulling quad load, which I tend to do on the Magloads because they are so easy to release. Like, they have really good retention, but they're very easy to release. But yeah, I found, well, I don't have set up with ELS, so I just have the Velcro for my actual shotgun belt. But overall, I mean, they're both good. And one thing I like about these versus like a King, once again, the Kings, which are a nice caddy, and I don't have the pricing. I can't remember the pricing on how they equate, but their springs are actually down below.
Oh.
So
so it's like sticking out.
Yes, it's sticking out. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'd like to keep it as short as
profile,
possible,
right?
Especially when, okay, you've ripped all your caddies out, so now this becomes shorter, or you do like I did on a stage where we had a long, our final stage, one of the long range stages, we had shotgun, like, I don't know, 28 rounds of shotgun, and then long range.
You have to go prone.
You have to go.
Actually, so they had this massive, it was a boulder, massive rock. And like, we were the last squad there. And I asked them, hey, can we abandon gear on the stage? It's like, yeah, you could do whatever you want.
Nice.
So with my shotgun belt, it's got a seatbelt buckle clip.
You just
So
let it loose,
when
fly.
I dumped my shotgun, I reached back, hit that seatbelt buckle, and dumped it. You can see on the magnet there's still dirt there because there's a lot of iron. There's a lot of iron in them hills.
Do you have your mount, your belt mounted upside down so that it just pops out easier?
What do you mean? Like for the ELS?
Yeah.
No, I put them on the normal way.
Okay. Yeah. No.
And I don't find it's a problem like after the stage is done to just reach and pop them.
No,
I would not pop that in the middle of a stage.
No, I was just wondering if you found some extra speed, because like mine are all oriented that way too, right? And that way I can rip them off when again.
Looks like you got yours set up on a QLS.
I do. Yeah, it's bigger.
Holy cow!
I
could fit it for that.
I could, yeah. I made these from home though. This is all
Nice.
3D printed, no magnets, and they have held up. And sorry, you're
No,
talking.
no, you're good.
They aren't anywhere near as impressive as that, but they didn't cost me $300 US. And
Yeah, well, as the mag load, looking at that, I don't even want to convert to Canadian because that 24 rounder was 283 pounds. So for
like,
that 24 rounder there, so
$600.
I got money in shotgun caddies, probably at least $1,500, if not more than that. I remember my one order from Magload was $1,000, and that was, I think, a couple I think that was when I got my 8, my 24, and my belt from them. But it's all Gucci stuff. You don't need it, but it is nice to see quality stuff that's cheaper, like $130 US for that.
Yeah, that's great.
That's nice.
Does anyone even carry any of that stuff in Canada?
Not really. Like a big part of why I made my stuff was there wasn't great options for buying it.
I think Calgary Shooting Center at Red Deer may carry some, but I think the availability comes and goes very quickly.
I think if you were to call Briley, like I know you can't go on Briley and order from their website to Canada, but I know I've done it in the past with a nut for a shotgun mag tube because I had picked up one of their long ones off one of the guys that shot in Saskatchewan, but it had an A5 nut on it. And I called Briley up and said, hey, can you guys send me an M2 nut? And like, yeah, it's not serialized. I don't see why not. Let's just process that over the phone. So you could probably get these. If you called them, you might be able to get these into Canada from Briley themselves.
Oh, that's fair.
Because I have had success with that with just talking to them.
Yeah, I'm looking like TACOR doesn't have anything.
Yeah,
safety source.
I know
stuff,
Double Tap is, I believe, bringing in the mag load. Yeah, Double Tap Sports is a dealer for mag load. So yeah, but
let's see,
back to that long range stage. So I unbuckled that, and there was one interesting thing because I was looking through it, and all they said was you have to shoot from the rock. Everyone was trying to find a place to rest their gun or monopod
right on the rock.
was standing on, and I'm looking. I'm agile enough. I try, and he said I could abandon stuff. I'm like, okay. So I tried running, hopped up there. Say, okay, yeah, not bad because it was probably about a 4.5 foot, probably about 4 foot jump, if not a little bit over 4 feet. But they had a nice 8x8 to stand on or whatever at the base of it. And so I dumped my stuff, hopped up there, no problem. And did it. When I was done that stage, one of the ROs looked at me. He's like, congratulations, you are the only person in the entire match this weekend that has done that. And nobody else on our squad did that. So I was the only one to actually shoot from that rock prone. Everyone else took either they were open and had the bipods and everything, or they just went with an awkward shooting position.
That seems so obvious. Why is the rock not big enough?
Well, no. The rock was. The thing is, the rock was big enough to make people second guess hopping up on it. And once I get my video out, it'll make a little bit more sense. Like it was probably up to like chest level for me. Not that I'm super tall, but yeah. But
I guess it's a hop up there, but
it was a doable. I would call it a leap, but yeah. But yeah, so I'm rambling now. So Dustin, what did you get up to?
Ooh, I actually got up to some stuff this week. So I, as with the spare shotgun parts trend, I finally received all of the extra Versamax parts that I ordered. I got a nice little like Christmas Day shipment. So last year I had there was a competition and I had gone to the range a couple days before just to like test out my guns. I cleaned everything, went to the range, make sure everything runs, and I broke a pin in my Versamax, a very, very important pin, and couldn't for love or money get one, find one. It was a hassle, just like made my shotgun completely non-functional. thankfully, then I had a director buddy who had the exact same shotgun as me. He loaned me mine. I just ripped his whole like trigger pack out because there's a pin in the trigger pack. Ripped the whole thing out, stuck it in my gun, went and shot my match. Anyway, fast forward to like it took me I think 3 or 4 months to get that pin, and it was Scott at International Shooting Supplies in Surrey that managed to track one down. He actually he got me two. But I have been bothered by that semi-auto Versamax that I love so much, even though Trevor has given me shit about it because it's heavy. I don't care. It has bothered me that it could so easily be made non-functional. So I went on a bit of a buying spree a while ago, and I ordered a whole other trigger pack from some guys that were doing mods to Versamaxes and stuff. I was like, can I just buy whatever components you guys are ripping out of guns, just the factory components? So whole new trigger pack, another BCG. Basically, if it moves, I have a double of it now, and I just like put all of those parts in the gun and went and tested them at the range this week, which was fun, and everything ran. And then I put the other parts back in because I'm weird like that. So I just got like a box of extra shotgun parts. And then, so I test fired all of that. Everything ran really, really well. It was just nice to shoot a little semi-auto. Range feels a lot quieter these days than what I remember from a few years ago. Like, usually you go out on a weekend and you're still fighting for space, and it just doesn't feel that way anymore. I went and sighted in my Maple Seed 1022. I love that little laser beam, and just needed to be sighted in for my last little camping trip. It was off a little bit, so and then I used everybody knows my MP7 at home, my Glock, and the Ronin kit. I used that at the our range has a steel pistol bay. Technically still a pistol. Now the rule says no PCCs, but I argue that it is not a PCC. It is a Glock in a plastic wrapper.
Why does the rule say no PCC? That's very weird.
Extra pressure, harder on the steel. That's the, I think, argument. But anyway, somebody came and lectured me on no PC. You know what the rules are. There's no PCCs on this range. I'm like, I don't think there's any PCCs left to bring to this range. This is just a Glock. There's no extra pressure. It's still a pistol. I'll argue that I didn't break any rules.
Your reg cert does say very clearly it is a pistol.
Yes.
So
yes, the registration certificate says it is a Glock 17 pistol. So I didn't feel bad using it, but somebody was salty, and usually it's me lecturing people about breaking rules on the range. But yeah, got my first squib load of the year, which was entertaining. Every once in a while you get a round that doesn't pass your QC when you're rolling your own, and I had mine. But
no, that means that pass your QC, the end customer has to suffer.
I mean, I am the end customer.
Well, yeah, exactly. Do your visual inspections, people.
I usually do. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know how this one actually passed my QC, because I'm usually really anal about stuff like that, especially now because I'm so afraid of blowing up a gun. That's
fair.
Like, I'm so concerned about that. I know I shouldn't be, because like I could still order a new one, but then it'd be part of the business. It'd be a whole headache, and I don't really need any of that. But anyway, so yeah, I had a squib, and we were talking about it, I think, last week, and just like in our range kits, that's one thing I'm really glad I have, is my like little squib bar for knocking stuff like that out, because it didn't stop the rest of my day. Yeah. And beyond that, a little bit of dry fire at home and some cleaning, and that's been my gun week. Tony, what about you?
So I did a few things. I took 2 old friends to the range. They were high school friends. They both moved out of Calgary at this point. They both came back for a visit, so I took them to the range. Unfortunately, both of them are non-voters, so that didn't impact the grand scheme of things this time around. I did reshoot the Savage Impulse. The accuracy was okay, 50 yards again. Again, a shout out to MagDump or SBI for their customizable target. I'm getting within an inch at 50, so within 2 MOA accuracy. So I guess my accuracy is in direct correlation with the trigger weight, or inverse correlation. Anyway, so adjusted the trigger, things are good, but still getting light strike on PPU 308 ammo. So the gun's still going back. Still a little bit away from hunting season, so I should be good on that. Now begin the Tony's gun show because I want to show a few guns that I've took to the range. So usually I start with this. This is my A22 FBSR 22 long rifle. It has a red dot on it, so it's easy to shoot. I have the recoil pad on for length of pull reasons, but the less recoil never hurts anything for new shooters, and it's one of the only semi-automatic left, so that is something to try. After that, I always bring up this gun. This is my Henry
Oh yeah, it is
22R. This is the rifle, not the carbine. Bought it on behalf of a friend, to be honest, because it was on sale. Friend is very known for indecisiveness. Richard, you know who you are. He doesn't watch the show. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. If you wanted to buy it from me, that's fine. Because he always wanted a lever gun, but he never pulled the trigger on it. Figuratively, because he did shoot this gun before. A few things. First is to note the whole, because no side gate, you have to load from the front. So muzzle discipline is one thing. It doesn't have a manual safety, so practicing on the whole half cock is a second thing. And then iron sights is kind of the third thing. So I think this gun is first very cool. A lot of people really like it. Second, it's a good teaching aid, I want to say.
Yeah. Oh, it's phenomenal. That's a great little lever gun.
I saw Dustin had a question for me.
No, I just
okay.
I have that gun and love it.
Cool. Made in America. Maybe that's a bad thing these days. Runs pretty well.
Buttery smooth action.
Yeah, pretty smooth action. Although I found out, comparing to a Browning, this has a really long stroke for a 22. I'm not too sure why. I think for a Browning it would be more like here, which I guess would be convenient, but maybe this simulates a pistol caliber lever action a little bit better. Wood and stuff looks cool, but a little bit more maintenance required. Shot the shotgun. That's usually the end of it, just in case your shoulder got too sore and you don't want to keep shooting. And I teased the Freedom Ordnance last week. That was my
look at it.
Device order from
super cute
from when before it was banned. Personally, I'm really not a big fan of black guns, so I try to go with the alternative color as much as possible. This is their.
What do you have against black guns?
I don't have anything against them. I just don't prefer the color. I want it to be a little bit more interesting. They call this the FDE, but I really want to call it more like a kind of titanium bronze kind of color. I really like it.
Yeah, that's not FDE.
Yeah, but I don't mind it. As long as it's not black.
hold it up more. It's cute. It's great.
Yeah, I really like it. This is the 8-inch barrel. There's I'm thinking maybe 8 is a little short, hand space wise. If I'm not using backup iron sights, it's probably fine. It's just usually my habit to have it, and for Steel Challenge, there's the Iron Division, so that would help as well, but I can always just move the hand back a little bit. The 2025 season isn't over yet, so we can be a little optimistic about it.
Yeah, we can.
But yeah, it's very nice. It's very maneuverable, and if you shoot a lot of 18.6 PCCs, you would know reloading is kind of a pain. It's really a lot of strain on your firing hand just because your huge barrel is sticking out and you're trying to do a reload. And usually they're pretty heavy barrels for some reason. So yeah, it'd be nice and maneuverable. And I'm thinking that'll probably be how the direction of my SPI LPC is going to go. I'll try to make it as legal as short as possible. It just kind of as a hunting guide gun if I need to, sling up, raise it up to a deer, blow them out. It'll be nice. But I guess there's also a good mention of the safe necessity. So, you don't have to lock it too many times. I can shove it in the box, shove the whole box into the safe, and that's safe storage for me.
Dude.
Convenient. Yep.
Convenient. I'm gonna do a tease of the shotgun that I got. The shotgun is actually not in the box because the previous owner is kind of fixing it. He raced out a already factory raced out gun and made it quite ugly. So I guess good news to Kyle, because I mentioned last week I shot a KSG at a trap range. It felt really good. So I was thinking about building a KSG or a KS7/11. There is a factory option for an extended magazine tube for the KS7, so you can make it 11 rounds, which would be pretty decent for like action shotgun stuff. But because of the bullpup, how you're gonna reload is the whole thing. And our steel rifle master is now shooting a 940 JM Pro, again, a hated shotgun maybe in the industry for sport shooting. We'll see how that performs. He had a very good track record of destroying all the guns he touched. That includes a Raven, a FPC, I believe a FX9. He was on an episode of the Ballistically Speaking podcast. I can let you figure out who he is, but he said if I buy, he's gonna polish it a little bit, make it a little up pretty. If that doesn't happen, then either I have to take up a job, or I need to find someone to help me with that job, or I have to send it to Black Box Custom and get it nice and, I don't know, milled. I don't know.
So
it just
you didn't.
What's wrong with it that it needs to be like? What happened to it?
he tried to enlarge the already very gaping hole of a loading port.
Oh.
It just doesn't look very good.
The factory loading port still needs to be opened up. Like, Benelli doesn't open them up enough.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
No,
They open it up too much, or what's the deal?
It just looks ugly.
Oh,
That's-
yeah,
I'm
of course
just-
it does. It's a race gun though. It's not supposed to look pretty. Is
Oh,
it
no,
an
you can make-
M4?
You can make them look nice. You can
Yeah,
make 'em look very nice at home.
Maybe I need to send
Waste
it down
money.
to the States and
Oh no,
Shotgun Master can.
just bring it up to Adriel. Adriel's got all the Dremel stuff and everything. You can do it
Belt
there.
sander.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, mine doesn't look bad.
Bad
I
idea.
opened
Oh
up
my
my first
God.
Mac.
I'll send you pictures from well, mine was all the ports I did was all Dremel.
I'm gonna grab
How do
mine
you
too.
make the lines fit? Like it's an art? Oh my god.
It's working with hand tools, so it's super small, fine files to smooth everything out, and yeah.
I got files.
Maybe.
And a Dremel.
We'll
or two,
see.
or three. I have three
We'll
Dremels.
see.
And then like 4-stage polishing, like with the Dremel. There's four different types of paste or whatever, and yeah, it's just it is a craft, but if you just take your time and pay attention, take it easy, you can make them look real nice. You can shave on the mirror finish that you get on them.
Maybe. Well, we'll see. But Adriel also invited me. Dustin isn't here. I don't think he's coming to this match anyway. He's inviting me to the Rimfire Madness match in the end of June, I want to say. Shotgun and Rimfire match. So if I don't have time to build a Rimfire rifle, or if Adriel loans me, I guess that's a different idea.
You have
will
an
see me-
A22.
You will see me be shooting this gun, and then whatever gun that was in this box sometime
So,
ago.
are you not going to tell us what was in the box? Is it an
Not
M4
yet.
or is it an M2?
We're gonna let the listeners guess, because that's how it's teased, right? I'm
Okay.
gonna say I have already taken all the accessory home. This gun has been unboxed for maybe 2 months. All of the accessories, like the chokes, have rust on them, and the choke tool
Oh.
has significant rust on it. I was like, Benelli, what the f?
Yeah,
Like,
you
put the best coating on it or something. I don't know. Do something about it. But I know how to parkerize things, so I'm actually okay on that front.
Don't parkerize the chokes.
No, I'm gonna parkerize the choke to the wrench though, because it's all rusty and stuff. I
Oh,
don't get
sure.
it. It's
Yes,
very
yeah.
weird.
So I was gonna say, Tony, like, you can Dremel up nicely for the most part. There's a little scuff up there that was me getting a little bit crazy, but it's not bad.
Maybe I'm just a little perfectionist about it. I don't know. I'm very weird about things.
Well, it's doable. I was just looking for some pictures to send you, but I know it's doable. And I closed the Lunatic Tactical Facebook page, so I think that's where most of the pictures were.
What? Why did you close it?
I'm not doing it anymore.
Okay.
And just yeah.
We'll see how long it takes him to finish that. He's usually pretty busy, and unless there's a match, I guess he can take it to the match with him. So I'll probably take possession of it at that point. But we'll show that to you at a different time. Just know it's a Benelli made in Italy, raced out from the factory, so you can take some guesses.
Bring it with you when you come to Vancouver.
How's that gonna work? What?
Just fly with it.
Oh God!
It's a
I'm going there for work, not for leisure. Come on.
So, okay, fine. Be that way.
I would like to check in a firearm for work, please. I guess for you, it's just a daily job. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go to Adriel. I know he have something very cowboy-ish.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, cowboy. No. Okay, I shot a 3-gun match on the Saturday. I used my M1 Garand for that. Good fun.
CZ Shadow and then A5.
Yep.
Same.
Yep. That's literally the fastest gear I have.
Yeah.
The M1 Garand is a little bit sad on that side of things, but that is gamer gear. It isn't the fastest
maple
to use. Because at these matches you can now use like rimfire rifles, and there are some rimfire rifles that have extended mags, and those are going to be faster, right?
Yeah.
You have the R9.
Sure. Yeah, I do. But I wanted to run the M1 Garand. I have more ammunition capacity for the M1 Garand than I do for the R9. If I'm running the R9, I need to double tap my paper, and if I'm running the Garand, I just need 1 tap, and I only have 3 mags for the R9, so it's a little bit hard to run for matches. Yeah, it went well though. It was a good, knocking some rust off and that kind of thing. Even though this is my second match of the year, but it might not be. I might not have another one until June, I think, because all my weekends are booked. But it was a good match.
I'm thinking there isn't as much matches this year just because the
there's
situation.
Lots. No.
Oh, really?
Around Edmonton, there's two per month. I'm just not able to make them all. Yeah, it was good though. Let's see. So that's one of the. So the M1 Garand is a good rifle for center fire and that kind of thing. But like you mentioned about that rimfire madness thing, I set that up. I got it going on practice score. So I'm like, oh, what am I going to run for that thing? Like I got a bunch of 1022s. I made 2 divisions for it, limited and unlimited. Limited is basically like 10 round rifle, whatever for shotgun, just no red dot or mag fed or whatever. And then unlimited is like, well, whatever you want, mag fed, red dot shotgun, more than 10 round 22 mags and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of want to run in that division because I want to go fast. But one of the problems with those extended mags, though, I don't think any of them run properly. Whereas before, like the Butler Creek mags for the 1022, they ran pretty good. The 597 mags don't run 100%. The A22 extendo mags don't run 100%. The
Tough 22 mags run okay.
Tough 22 ones definitely don't run 100%.
Huh, really?
Really?
No, none of them do. Now you might say like, no, they do. Try to take 4 of those mags and run them back to back to back and see if you don't have any jams across those 4 mags. You will have a jam across one of them.
Probably. I usually see 3 mags. One competitor at Steel Challenge was 3 of them, shooting a SBI super light, and that seems to run pretty good.
Yeah, you just have to be really careful with, like I saw some competitors like oil their rounds, or they only run this kind, this 38 grain and not the 40 grain, and this then that fits better. So it's like it's a very touchy thing to do. Like I've got one of the 597 adapters for the 1022. But I don't think I'm going to run that because I definitely don't get enough reliability out of it. My buddy had a 597. He's like, yeah, I think I'm selling this. I'm like, I'll buy that. So I bought his used 597. Not that the mags are the best, but if you find mags that work, it's good enough. Like
Right.
you're gonna have to have remedials regardless which one you pick. In my opinion, there just aren't any 100% reliable extended 22
I
mag.
just that's a big thing that turns me off rimfire. It's just like there's so much
RNG.
like
There's a bit of
there's
RNG.
too
You have
much
to-
of it. Like
You have to fix it.
PCCs, I get like 1 or 2 failure per season, and that's
Mhm.
that already gets frustrating, especially you're on a roll, long stage. I had one on a K9. I'm on the end of the thing, last target. I have a double feed. Like that's the first
Yeah.
time it's gonna have a double feed. Like reaching my finger in there. It's like, do I at that point like the mental calculations like, do I still go engage the target, or is like the time has elapsed too much?
Yeah, you have to make that determination. Oh, there's a TM22 guy, and he had massive failure on it. Like the bolt wouldn't go back all the way. It was really weird. So he dumped it and he went to his other firearm, right?
I haven't really seen a TM22 on a line for Steel Challenge.
Oh, they're like some
They're
of them
out
run really
there.
well. So, and I think for those, it's fine. It's just, yeah, none of them are 100%. Now, if you wanted 100%, you go with the 10 round, like 1022 and the BX mags, and those things are pretty bulletproof, right?
Even I've got some 10 round Butler Creek mags, like the same style as the 10 as the 20 rounders, and those things have been so reliable. Like that is
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So you're thinking like, is it just like the mags that are existing now have gotten crappier, or like what do you?
The mags are crappier. Like the 597 mag is crappy. The A22 mag is crappy. They mix the materials wrong on it, like the steel and the plastic. It's all like not that great on the A22. The TM22 should be fine, but then the gun itself like runs into issues every once in a while.
Right.
Let me think.
I think for the
and that
A22,
HC22, like the Tough 22 magazines, like they're weird to start with. Like they're not a high volume part. Like those Butler Creek ones, they made cajillions of them. They would be facing like huge return issues if they didn't get it like sorted out. So they got it sorted out, and they managed to match like that cheapness and reliability in a magazine and just sell cajillions of them.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I think there's also a thing about first rimfire 22 rounds are externally lubricated, so different from what I've seen on a 25 round mag. I think the problem is probably with spring tension. You just have too many rounds stacking, and then 22 are rimmed, so that compounds the problem too. But in Canada, at different temperature, I found different type of lubrication performed differently in the 25 rounders. And I think wax, if I recall correctly, wax performed better in the summer. They're like kind of melty. And the like graphite, the kind of drier lubrication performs a little bit better in the winter.
Sure. Yeah, maybe it might be lubrication. Like I like the SK rounds, and they have kind of a greasy, like disgusting lubrication on them, but it's very reliable. Anyways, so 597 is good enough for what I'm trying to do. I was looking at the A22. That would be my next like cheap gun that'll run extendo mags, or like machining out one of my 1022s for the Tough 22 mags.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend a lot of money on it because I don't care about I don't care about having a high performance extendo mag 22 as much.
Yeah, that's why I never really like once they boned us with the extended 1022 mags, like I never really explored other options. I pinned one so that I just didn't get annoyed. I got a box of those Butler Creek mags, and like whatever, I got a license says I can break that stupid law, but I still like every once in a while I'll take them out for fun. But like those mags were so good, and nothing else I've seen feels like they come anywhere near that. Like you said, that balance of cheap and good. Like
the GSG stick mags are fine.
You're right. The GSG. Yeah.
Those
those were
despite
great.
the look,
Yeah.
they run pretty okay.
Not the drum. The
No,
GSP drums
the
are
stick
like,
mag.
well, it's too
The
much
25 round
like you're
sticks are
saying, Tony.
okay.
Yeah, 110 rounds on those things. But the 25 round stick mags were
great.
fine.
Yeah.
I would like, boy, that would be a really nice action shooting gun to use in something like this. Is a GSG? Hell yeah.
Yep.
But the failure rate is too low, so they incur a public safety concern. So for the greater good of the public, we need to ban it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the
And
rest of the
send them
gun
to
has
Ukraine.
failures.
That's what the humanitarian people want us to do.
Yeah, the rest of the gun still has failures. But anywho, let's see what else I do. Oh yeah, so I was thinking about like, like what happens when this M1 Garand is banned? Is like, well, I guess I'll have to run some like a cowboy action rifle.
Hell
I'm never gonna run this thing in 3-gun, but
yes, you say that now. You say that now.
Cowboy action.
Cowboy action.
You pretty much have everything to do it.
no.
You need 2 revolvers. He doesn't have 2 revolvers.
Well, yes,
Most-
yes, dude.
Yeah. Most
He pretty much has every gun that he needs to run it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Most cowboy action clubs will like let you borrow because they know the issue, right? They just
I
want
have
people to
multiple
come in.
revolvers.
Yeah, fair.
Just don't- I just
Single
don't like-
actions?
No.
Yeah, that's the
Well, wait, technically, a revolver. Rifle. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, you do.
the 22 club.
So have you shot it yet? What do you think?
No, I just got it today. This just came in today.
Oh.
So this is the Canuck, what is it, Wrangler Boss or something
Wrangler,
like that. It's
yeah.
a Turkish like lever action shot. It's actually I like it. There's a couple things I like. So like the wood's kind of plain on it, but it's wood. I really like the case hardening. That looks good on it. It's got like this leather laced. This okay. I knew it was enlarged. It's massive. Like I don't know what glove you're supposed to put in there. What is this? What is that?
It's
This
really
is
good
for
glove.
your governor recock, right? The whole spinny thing.
Spin it around. Yeah. It's very generous. It's very generous lever on there. But the action itself, like it feels smooth enough. Like the parts look good enough. There's a bit of like I can see the machining marks on the bolt on the side, for example. But who really cares? This is a 16-inch barrel on it and 8-round. This is a 44 mag. This is the one I was looking at. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Was it last
correct.
week I was looking at this on air?
Yeah, I think so.
It's here. Yeah, it's here. Anyways,
16 inches is like the right length of barrel too. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
for like for out.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
too
looking at
good.
the mare's leg, but like I don't like shooting the mare's leg. They're terrible to shoot. You can't hit anything.
And you have to
And
get
you
a
lose
different stock for
capacity
it.
and velocity. And this thing you don't, but you still get a very short barrel on it, and you get a real stock, and you get 9 rounds of 44 mag.
That's not bad.
Should be enough. Should be enough, right? You also get a threaded muzzle.
Yeah, so we can put a can on it when we win. It's gonna be great.
Well, the interesting thing about that, so you want subsonic, right? And when you go subsonic, you want a lot of weight. Wow,
300
44
grains,
mag. You
yeah.
can put a 240 grain bullet in there,
Yep.
or you can put a tank brake on there, I guess. But you'd
That
have to.
gun-
I think it's half by 28, but you have to really auger it out.
You got to be
because
really careful
Yeah,
with that, then.
It's basically
Jeez.
threads and then like there's that barrel is so skinny on the outside. You probably can't even see that at all, but so skinny outside there. So
I saw it would be like 45 ACP size or something. Like not the after 28.
Maybe.
I know it's
Maybe.
5.56 and 9 mil. Like that would have been dangerous in a sense.
well, I'll tell you what. While someone else is talking, I'll check it. But
Yeah.
all in all, I am happy with my purchase. There is not really enough on here for me to complain about. And you guys know me. I complain about quite a bit when it comes to rifles. There's not much of a butt pad on it.
Yeah,
but
you
not-
win.
not
Not a
that it
lot of recoil.
shouldn't matter.
44 mag.
44 can be a little bit snappy with a lighter gun and like those heavy bullets. Like it can have some.
But it's a
little bit
rifle,
of
so
snap.
should be all right.
Should be. I don't know
And-
if there's anything else to mention about it. I'm gonna get some reloading components from a buddy of mine. I was like, "Hey, you got any 44 mag brass?" He's like, "Actually, I do." It's like, "Oh yes," because I got the dials and that
brass.
kind of stuff. Yeah,
And just wait till you can start putting on like a different foregrip, and we can start adding on some like extra bullet like holders. It'll be great. We'll we'll space gat that thing right out.
On the belt, right?
Oh, I mean, fair.
No, I'm not doing any of that. I don't even know what I'm going to do with this thing. I like 44 mag, and the price is right. So that's about it for that one. We all went, right?
We did.
Let's get on and talk about upcoming events. So Maple Seed, we've got April 26th, Frontenac Rifle and Pistol Club. It's going to be in Ontario. Tickets it's probably sold out, but all these tickets for all these events are going to be at mapleseedrifleman.com/events. There's Kamloops on May 3rd, Cape Nova in Nova Scotia on May 16th and 17th, SPFGA, that's Sherwood Park near Edmonton. That'll be May 24th and 25th. Regina on May 31st, Armstrong on June 1st, and Rocky Rod and Gun Club on June 8th. And that's close enough. Coming over to 3 Gun, Chaz 3 Gun, that's coming up on May 3rd here. Mighty Peace, they have a double header, I believe, that's going to be after the election. Yeah,
it's like the first weekend in May. They're gonna have a 2-day match.
Yeah. I have it as a 1-day, but I think I've got a mistake on 3gun.ca here, so I think that's a multi-day match.
Yeah, that was a new revelation or development. Basically it's a all-out party or down or get it in before everything's gone.
Exactly. Sherwood Park's got a match on May 17th. Chaz has a match on June 7th. Mighty Peace 3 Guns 2-day is on June 7th. I think it's still on June 7th, unless that was the one they moved. And then the Sherwood Park fishing game Rimfire Madness is on June 28th and 29th, and that one's now up on Practice Score. So if you want to learn more about that one, head on over to Practice Score, or I don't know, comment in the comments here and ask for more details, because I'm putting that one on. Tony, you got one for BTSA?
I do. There's an upcoming Pro Series Rimfire Precision match on the 27th. And then about a month away, we have May 24th, 8-stage weekend steel challenge. By the way, ASL, Acton Shooting League, and weekday Wednesday night steel challenge are both available starting now. So the season has begun.
Perfect.
I gotta go out to a steel challenge match. The range in Langley does one like every month.
Oh, I was mistaken. This is not half by 28. It's not even close. What am I talking about? That's not going to fit on there. These two things do not.
Don't do it. Blow all your cans. I bet it's not a good time.
I'm going to do it.
You just need a reducer?
Just need a reducer, yeah. It's one of those guys, yeah. I've got some, so if you're looking for your Pal around Edmonton, I've got one coming up this weekend at Sherwood Park, and then the weekend after at MI Safety. News. Election on Monday. We're going to do a special episode. Come hang out with us. And like Kyle was mentioning about what they're going to do with Mighty Peace 3 Gun, we're either going to drink in celebration, or we're going to drown our sorrows in defeat.
I'm gonna bring up a thing though. This is kind of funny. So here's the ads for both of the parties, door hangers. Yeah, but these are all dropped off at me after the advanced poll has concluded.
Yeah, they're still
voting. Yeah, they're still. They don't know if you voted yet.
I get it, but like just do them earlier so they're like 50% more effective.
See, I think people are dumb and have short memories. And so it's better to get all that stuff out right before they go to cast their vote.
Yep.
So just
because a month ago they will have forgotten about it.
Yeah, there's been an enormous amount of obviously of advanced voting. I think like 7 million people was
record. It was
bananas
half or something.
I'm really curious to see how things go. I put it in the little news thing that there doesn't appear to be any extra money in the Liberals' platform for the gun ban that they've said they're gonna, stomp on the gas for. So I don't know how they're gonna do that if they win, but I don't think they're gonna win.
How many $1 billion did they say they're gonna spend again?
They added like 120 something.
Yeah, what's another 2 billion?
Just 230 billion. They added 230 billion.
I thought the total came to 230, and they added another 100 and some.
to whatever the Justin Trudeau platform was already. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
They're-
exactly. What's another
Yeah.
2 billion? Just
No,
You guys, they don't care. They don't
I
care
know.
about
I
money.
know.
They're going to run hundreds of billions of dollars in deficits every
They're
single
just gonna
year.
print it and make the dollar worth
Worthless.
nothing,
yeah.
Sure.
and
a whole pickup truck worth of cash just for a loaf
don't
of
care.
bread.
They
It's not
no,
their
they
money,
truly
it's
don't.
ours.
But I still, again, I have faith. I
Ooh.
think the
Look
I
at
just
that
had a thought.
little follower.
what if they
Yeah.
devalue the dollar so much? Like Tony had a comment, a truckload of money just to buy a loaf of bread. Well, now it's not conceivable to have cash society. Now that's how
Yeah.
you get to cashless society.
maybe.
Ah.
I don't
Canada's
know.
pretty close to cashless, anyways.
We're really close to there. But I don't know. I say, I'm still putting together, like, I don't know if y'all seen The Office, Michael gets what he wants and he doesn't. I've got the 2 boxes, the happy box, some booze and some celebratory things, and the sad box with some booze and some not celebratory things.
Defeat things.
The defeat things. I think
Sad
that's where
Oddly
fireworks.
enough, it's the same items.
I just put a bunch of guns in my passport in one box. And, oh god,
Yeah.
no, it'll be fun. Tuesday will be good because we'll know by then, probably.
No, we're gonna know by the election's Monday night, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna know Monday night.
I won't know Monday night. I'm ignoring it until all the answers in.
You're
know
not
Tuesday
coming on the
morning.
show Monday night.
Oh, we're doing the Monday night thing too.
Mhm.
Oh, well then I will know Monday night.
It's just gonna be a hangout.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
show structure. Just if we have listeners or people that want to just come on. I asked Ian if he'd come on, and he said maybe, depending if he's doing a recording or not. So, yeah.
Yeah,
if
last
you
time
guys
we
can hop
had
on.
the ticker going, and we tried to update it
Mhm.
every hour or so.
Yeah, we
That'll-
did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did do that. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's doable. It looks like
I did not
BC is
remember
going to be
that.
in play this year. We might be the deciders, so you guys
Nice.
might be up late.
That would be nice. I would be happy if I'm up late and it's not like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
and they're like, "We call it."
I'm also
Well, that's
like,
just it. Like, if it actually gets out of the East without them calling it, that's a good
So-
thing.
that's the other thing. I'm really curious to see because like I know Polyev's in the Maritimes right now, and if it is true what he is supposedly supposed to be promising those folks, we might still have a shot out there, like at least leveling the playing field. So I don't know. We'll see. He kicks that particular stool leg out from under the Liberals. It's not as certain to victory.
We'll see.
Yeah.
On Monday. It's not
Yes, we
long
will.
from now. New gun stuff. Tony, you got some stuff in here. You want to share your screen and click on this stuff or what?
You bet.
Yeah.
All right. Homesteader 9mm. M-Lock. Brushed bronze. I had someone, I shared someone like the photo of this thing, and they're like, okay, you got a Dremel to put some M-Lock slots in that thing.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting,
this
There's
was-
actually a company that probably makes
Yeah,
wood with the M-Lock. I gotta remember the name of it though.
Yeah, so it looks like they have a hope metal, maybe plastic insert in their wood stock, and the wood itself is slightly relieved, so it will be a flat surface for you to mount your M-Lock stuff properly. I am assuming you can retrofit your current homesteader with this mod in case you needed it. It's not the most ugly thing I've seen, but
This is getting to some like Fallout shit right here. Like this thing looks like it should be in
the
Fallout.
brush browns kind of
It
give it
kinda
an
does.
antique
So-
look as well.
It just looks blocky.
I
That
like it.
belongs in Minecraft almost. It looks blocky.
I kind of like it. I like some edges.
I'm not,
Although
I forgot if the threaded muzzle is a new addition, so that some people might appreciate that too.
I love a good threaded muzzle.
I do like the addition, like with the other stocks I was mentioning, with having like the metal insert M-Lock with the wood. I do think that does, especially if you do it down the whole
Practical.
side, it looks cool. It looks nice.
Yeah.
I don't like the look, but it's very practical. I agree with the practicality of it.
On a side note, they have now made other Magwell adapters for the Homesteader. I believe there was one for a SIG.
That makes sense. Doing a SIG and a CZ one totally makes sense. You know, there's lots of
You can
people.
use the
lots of
mags
those
in a gun
mags.
that won't go off in your holster.
Ouch! Oh God!
Yeah.
Your words.
So
they
there's
cut
a CZ, there's a MMP, and of course there's a proprietary mag and the Glock.
Yes.
Well, look at that ghost ring.
Ghost
I hate
ring.
that too. Yeah, scroll down a little bit. Look at the. Yeah,
Oh,
look.
Ugh.
it's pretty tall.
Yeah, that's not
Ugh.
Ugh.
I don't
dig
like
that.
If it's functional, I'm not gonna
It
question.
won't be for long. The first tree you come across, that thing's gonna be dented up. You won't be able to see through it.
put an optic on the thing anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the two choices of PCC you get in Canada right now.
Yeah, you really just got two choices. Ooh.
Yeah. The Golden Boy revolver. So Henry dipped their toes into the revolver market. I think about 2 years ago was their 357 Magnum revolver. So now they have a rimfire option. Always two grips. They have the gunfire grip, which is more of the lawmaker, the peacemaker style. And then they have like a bird head rounded to carry contour, so to speak. A lot of rounds.
Yeah, is
a
that
lot
like
of rounds.
10
10 rounds, I
10?
think.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, 10
nice.
rounds. And whoa, I did not check the MSRP. That is very expensive. Holy
For a
crap.
22 revolver? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of brass and
Whoa.
polish and-
Okay.
Mhm.
Expensive.
I'll bet you it's very good.
How much is a Smith &
That's a
Wesson?
revolver. How good can it be?
Fair. And then last one, this is I guess it's just something new. This is a competitor to the Savage Rascal, I guess. It's a single shot. I found the bolt handle to be very funny. It's more of the
It's called a butter knife. Butter knife bolt.
Is
hand.
it?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I know
So some old rifles.
old
use that.
style European
Yeah.
rifles. The Mannlicher Schoenhauer carbine did, and I believe the Browning A bolt and the second generation A bolt may have them too. It's just a flat piece of
Yeah.
thing. But
They've been selling the mini bolt for a while though. This is
have they? I thought it's pretty new. Anyway,
It's not new. You just don't see it a lot because, like, for the price, it doesn't offer anything that the Rascal doesn't, and it's a lot more. And the Rascal, even the Rascal by itself, it's a very specific use case, right?
Tony, were you just
Right.
hanging out on Henry's website and you're just like, oh, here, let's put some stuff on?
I
Like,
forgot what I was looking at. I think I was looking at the lever guns.
yeah, there you go.
This is the
Oh,
Mossberg 990 Aftershock.
I want
Not a
that.
shotgun because legally speaking, they can't call it a shotgun. This is like
And
any
Yeah,
other
it's-
weapon, but not.
yeah.
It's
Any
like
other
in a legal loophole right now.
Yeah.
AOW, yeah.
Dude, I want two
So
of
you will
those.
find them in the others section.
Thing
This is kind of a
you're in Canada. It is a shotgun.
it is a shotgun, and we currently have this.
shotgun.
Well, restricted. The pump action will be way more practical.
18.5-inch barrel, 14.75 or 18.5.
Why would you want an
for us.
18-inch barrel with this? It's so wrong. Look at this. Why do you want a magazine cut off? It's so wrong.
So, all right. So, if anybody's ever played Overwatch, ever since these guns came out, I have needed two of them because of a character from Overwatch that has two.
Reaper?
Thank you. Yes, that dual wields.
That
two
was a
3-round
long time
shotguns.
ago. I'm sorry.
Like, yeah, I want to. I need to.
You need 4 because you need to do
That's
a New
true.
York reload, and you need to bring 2 more out. So you need a lot of them. But in my opinion, this is more of a product improvement over the Remington TAC 13 V3, which is their semi-auto. But Remington is obviously kind of down but not out, but reviving in a sense. And this one does have some advantages. For example, MB safety.
Like that.
And then you have your modernized M-lock slot, which kind of helps.
This is a truck gun. This is the quintessential legal in America truck gun.
It's not
Right.
cheap though.
No. But like this is a gun that you can legally have. It's not a handgun. It's not a shotgun. Not a short barrel shotgun. So anybody can have it, and that is a problem solver or problem maker, depending on the situation.
Depends
But,
on the
It's a
strength of
dumpster.
your wrist.
Dumpster defender.
dude, no, yeah, I mean, the strength of your wrist, it's a semi-auto, so it's going to eat a lot of that recoil. I'll bet you that thing shoots nice.
Also, they have a Crimson Trace laser sight just in case you don't want to aim, because hip fire is the way to go.
That's all this shotgun is hip fire.
That's true.
Oh, I need that.
And Sierra bullets, for some reason, I don't think they're hacked, but they're just changing their look. Their logo looks very English now, I want to say, like old-timey. You'll see on their video, they still have the old logo, which is like kind of cartoonish. And, Sierra Bullets logo looks like Sierra Bullets. So I just thought it's kind of funny. So I thought I'll bring it up. This is their old look. Match King, very classic, but yeah, their logo has kind of changed. I thought there was a few more. Frontier Farms side-by-side shotgun. Ooh, this is on CGN. So
Frontier Firearms has some side-by-sides they're used.
Coach
They're
guns.
very cheap, though.
Oh,
If you're looking for some coach guns.
those are really
16
cheap.
gauge. Whoa.
Mhm. There's some 12 gauges in there, too.
Yeah, let's open up one of the cheap 12 gauges, Tony. Oh, yeah.
350. That one's internal hammer. Yeah.
Oh,
Where is it made? Oh god, what is the
Well, if you just look at it there, coach gun. Oh, it doesn't
high
show.
out of
oh,
focus?
that's got some character to it. I like that.
Full choke, made in Belgium.
Full choke.
Belgium.
Well, one side's going to be full choke. I bet you the other one's like a mod
Yeah.
or something like that.
Could be.
Right.
Doesn't
Doesn't
say.
say.
So, right.
Yeah.
Take it.
Oh, another internal
For
hammer.
the listeners, the price is $349,
That's really
About
good.
350.
$350.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Dual trigger. I like that. Yeah.
You can pull both at the same time.
Exactly.
God,
They do it in the video games, Tony.
I know how it's done. And Canada's gun store CGS have one of the last surviving externally removable box mag fed semi-autos available, the Browning BER.
Yeah.
These are all in the hunting flavors, ranging from $1,950 to $2,200.
Coming soon to a liberal band near you.
Yes, and free shipping across Canada.
I don't even know what the mags for these things look like anymore.
They're
Looks like a box.
just a small little.
Little, yeah,
four-rounder
it's like a little,
rounder,
yeah, sleeve thing, right?
Capacity is 4. I saw it's 3+1. I guess it's
Yeah.
4+1. So
Well, it depends on the cartridge. If you're doing like 300 Win mag
fair.
or 6.5 PRC is terrible for width as well.
interesting.
It's a
We
weird one.
have a synthetic 308, the Mark III.
That's the one Tony's ordering.
I'm not uttering jack crap right now.
Right now, he's gonna wait till after the show.
Of course. Tax rebate.
Text. No, I think I already blew it on the shotgun, but different issue. Is that all the new gun stuff for this week? I believe so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to talk about toolboxes? Are we gonna do that today?
Oh, sure.
You tell us.
I think I want to talk about toolboxes.
Okay.
I'm going to show you guys what garbage I have, and I want you to recommend what I need to add to my toolbox. What do you
Okay.
think?
Sure.
And let's do like absolutely like I can't believe you don't have this in your toolbox, Adriel. To okay, this is nice to have. I had to use this once in the last 5 years.
I came prepared.
Oh my god. I should.
Okay,
I brought my range bag up. I didn't bring my toolbox up. You guys
I
don't.
don't have a regular toolbox, so I'm just a student here.
I'm going to go with the minimum, and then I want you guys to
Okay,
to
hang on,
let me
let's
know
go.
what needs to be added to it. So there's my minimum. It's a small toolbox, and
You
inside
don't have
this
a
thing-
rod. I think that's the problem.
I don't have a rod in this one. I'll kind of go through what I have in here. I have a lens cloth,
Okay.
which I've never used, and I probably will
Towel,
never
yep.
use. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw it in the garbage.
Oh, you're gonna need that the next time you go out.
Yeah.
I'll use McDonald's napkins or something like that. I have some extra earplugs. I run a lot of earplugs
That's
in here.
always good, especially for guests.
I have a random assortment of drugs,
Oh yes, drugs are good.
like Advil, ibuprofen,
Oh,
and
that's less good.
Claritin, allergy drugs, and that kind of thing.
Who doesn't love a good roll while you're firing, at the shooting range? Wait,
Oh, what's this?
Oh,
Oh,
that
it's
an
the
ATT?
conditions paper. It's the
Oh!
conditions paper.
I think you have it set to the wrong place. I just have it in my wallet together with the license.
See, I
No,
thought it would have been better
this-
if it was like an old ATT like we had to carry with us.
I still have mine in my bag.
I have some matches just in case, and it's not so much because sometimes I go camping and whatnot. Okay, this I actually use all the time, absolutely all the time. A little multi-bit screwdriver with storage in the back for all the bits. I use this thing more than anything else.
I would suggest double checking that you can, in fact, take out every single screw, especially.
I can't.
Well,
I can't.
most of them. Usually, I would suggest for sure your optics rail and your optics themselves, and that happens quite often.
You're saying like your T15, T10,
sometimes
and some
T25,
Allen bits that are common, and yeah, that's what I have in there, and a flat and a Phillips, number 2, not
That's
a number
plenty.
1, because who needs a number 1? That's what I have in there. So I use this thing all the time. I would say that this is like my mandatory. Everything else in here hasn't been. My reg certs, they stay in there because this is the kit I take with restricted anytime I'm using restricteds. Leatherman,
Important.
Good.
pretty much. That has a bunch of stuff on there. I have some lens cleaning wipes in here, and as you can see by how old this is, I have never used them. So
Well, yeah, you don't use
that's
your
going
lens
in the
cloth
garbage.
either.
That's going in the garbage. Extra fiber optic.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
That's a good one. I haven't had to use
Actually-
it yet, but I definitely don't want to be stuck without that stuff.
I need to put some.
Now here's a
patches.
question:
Yeah,
You have a lighter in there for said fiber optic.
He does have the matches.
I have the matches. I don't have a lighter in here. No lighter. Extra staples.
Good.
Use them. I use them. You guys know what that is?
No.
It's a 25
chamber
caliber.
flag?
Oh, it's a chamber
25
flag.
caliber brush.
Oh no. Oh, it's a brush.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you have-
bent so that it goes into the chamber on a 22 and cleans it. You use it all the time in maple seed. If your chamber
Oh.
starts getting cruddy and your rounds don't want to seat anymore and you start getting light strikes because your bolt's not going in, the problem is that your chamber's dirty. So this, you put that in there, it scrubs out the stuff.
I'm gonna make that.
Super easy. 25
That is
caliber
interesting.
is what you want. 25 caliber brush.
You want it to be
Not
slightly
22.
oversized so you can clean the chamber more effectively.
Yeah, because the chamber's
make
bigger
that.
than the bore. Let's see. Oh, do I have another conditions paper? Oh, I have another. This one
You
expired in
renewed it.
2022, so I don't think I need that anymore.
Oh, you never know.
Never know. You never know. A couple random Allen keys. A tiny little eye droplet thing full of gun oil.
Good.
Don't drop it in your eye.
a little
Label
bit
it
of hand
correctly.
Yeah, it looked like it was still labeled as the eye drop. So
I would
I
have.
have it.
Well,
Look, it says gun oil on the top there in
oh,
Sharpie.
okay.
just
Yeah,
rip the
label
label
it.
off,
Yeah.
man. Come on.
I have double A's and triple A's. Also use these for
Very
my
good.
Ear Pro.
Yep.
And there's my one specialty part. My one specialty replacement part.
Oh
Pivot
yeah.
for the Shadow 2.
Yeah.
You do not have CR 1632 or 2032 batteries.
I have
What
both.
kind of optics would I need those for?
Red dots, the Vortex low profile pistol dots would be 1632, and the standard profile, not triple A's, would be
Yep.
2032s.
So I change my batteries out once a year in all my optics.
They still randomly die, though. You don't want
Yeah.
that to happen.
I never have them randomly die. I do actually illuminated scopes. I have them randomly die because I accidentally leave them on.
It's fair.
My
Yep.
solution to that is I don't use the illumination on my illuminated scopes.
My problem is
So-
other people using the illumination on my scopes and leaving them on, and me
Mhm.
not checking.
Okay, so what did you not see that seems like it should be mandatory?
Gun cleaning
Dustin,
kit.
you go first.
Gun cleaning kit with a
Yeah.
ramrod. That is the essential. Like that is the most important thing that I didn't see in your kit. Obviously, I mean a chamber flag too. Yeah, if I want to be really fussy about just like kind of little essentials.
Mhm.
And did you? I didn't clock any. I saw you have gun oil, no solvent.
Nope.
Fair. I mean,
CLP.
My
yeah,
gun clean. My gun oil is
Good
I
enough.
don't even know if it's CLP. It's literally 5W20 synthetic
yeah.
motor
That's
oil.
not very C of it.
It's,
The LP part is okay.
I mean, I could go over the list of all of the things you don't have that I have in my bag, but we would be here all day.
Well,
I brought the bag.
It comes down to purpose. Like
Yes.
this kit sounds like by
He just
Adriel.
ejected himself.
He's gone now.
So
He's still there.
he's
like,
still
oh, and he's back.
Oh, there he is.
Has like a back button on the side of it, and
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Well, it comes down to purpose. Like
Yes.
whether this kit looks like a Sunday afternoon go plinking at the range.
Yes.
or competition. I use it.
Oh, if it's a
Okay, well the competition.
Need a rod. Need a
Yes.
rod.
You
Well,
need the
no,
rod.
I could have a whole lot more for competition.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is not a competition kit.
Like that's still
technically
it is
is,
a
but I
mess
use it
right
for
now, but that's
competition.
fresh from 2 majors. So
Well, but this is also like that's not everything you take to the range, right? Like that's just your little like gun.
yeah, like
tool
if I'm
kit,
if I'm
cleaning
just going
kit.
to the range to sight in or do some shooting, no, this toolkit does not come with me. This will
I
come
went to
with
a
me,
match and I don't
and
have
I
it
got
pretty much at
for
all.
like hand tools or whatever I have in the truck already for on the trail. So like this comes with me to the range every time.
So for me, like that is my
Everyone with
range.
their oversized.
So do we
Yeah,
just want
Adriel
to
does
start
not
going
approve.
through our bags?
Why don't you guys go through your bags? I'm gonna write down what I want to pick out of it. You guys just go through your
Okay.
bags.
Okay,
All right,
you
so
first,
this
you
is-
first, Kyle.
So this is what I would call my cleaning bag.
Yeah.
So it's just a duffel bag with another bag in it. So my stuff is not actually super organized. So I have this other cleaning bag here that has boar snakes in there. I do have, Tony should be happy, I got Sierra 2032s.
There you go.
And it
It's a
holds
huge
a
container.
lot
Oh
of
my
them.
god. That's a little excessive, but okay.
And cleaning brushes, random tools. This is what I used to always take to a match. So like there's the Allen
Brush and
keys
tackle
and
box?
brushes. I like using Q-tips for cleaning, so I always keep a pile of Q-tips with me. Flashlight. There's even a magnifier in here for some reason. I threw it in there. It never gets used, but
Have you tried
it's there.
pipe cleaners, Kyle?
I have not.
Oh, get into pipe cleaners. You'll
Yep.
ditch the Q-tips because they
Okay.
do so. You can bend them and get them into weird spots so much easier.
I got spare fibers for shotgun sights.
Mhm.
Spare D-rings for shotgun trigger groups. If you're running like a Versamax or Benelli,
Whoa.
this is a very, very important part because if you take apart your trigger group and your hammer pin that holds basically everything together, if you don't have that, it will come apart in your gun.
Interesting. Okay.
You'll get one side of your lifter fall off the pin, you'll walk enough, and then your shotgun's down for the count. So, D-clips. For wedge for my new scope mount, it came with its own wedge for leveling the scope, so that stays in here. I really gotta, like I was mentioning last week, I gotta really organize my stuff and consolidate / just organize, because as I go through, I'll have double up stuff. I do have a spare extractor from 2011 that I just tossed in there because I had a spare one. I carry about every different cleaner under the sun. Like there's some copper remover that I just threw in there because I like trying different stuff and I don't pay attention when I grab a bottle. So, so that's in that little bag. Also got some Prolix that I use sometimes. Tony was asking about solvent. I bring the hoppies. I love that
It's
stuff.
a gigantic can of
Oh, yeah.
poppies.
Little butane torch.
for your fiber optics.
So like I said, I over prepare. This is basically, I could pretty much do anything with my
You can
kit.
run a gunsmithing business off your truck.
Well, thing is, I got in the habit of doing this because when I was running Lunatic Tactical in Canada, I did that at matches, basically. So when I was done shooting, people would bring their guns by the tent and I'd fix them and get them going or rebuild or whatever. So I would always have an assortment of stuff and make sure that I pretty much could do anything there. More cleaning stuff. I've been getting into the microfiber cloths for cleaning. I really like those. So
Costco brand or no?
No, Walmart.
More American, yes.
So that is basically my cleaning kit.
It's just for cleaning.
Yeah.
Just
so
for
now the toolkit, which last week I dubbed the tickle trunk. So once again, keeping in mind that this is not just for my stuff, it's for just the habit of just being able to help out anybody. I have sockets for days.
Golly. This is like exceeding field level.
Metric and standard, short, long.
Like
I bring a full
for the
setup
listeners,
of
that's
torques.
not
That's not all of them.
that's not
There's another
sockets
one.
for fixing your gun. That's sockets for fixing the targets and stuff.
Fixing targets, doing your sight mounts, taking the buttstock off a shotgun.
Roadside mechanic stuff.
Yeah. Full thing of torque sockets. I carry a couple stubby ratchets.
Those are really handy.
Bag of fiber. Barrel nut wrench, because I brought this one because I knew we were dealing with a certain handguard that I had customized this for taking the barrel nut off in case, because we were building guns in
That is cool.
Phoenix. So I had to shave that. Now it's just a crowfoot,
Yeah, it's a big crowfoot
inch and 3/16,
wrench.
but I had to narrow it up to fit onto it. So springs, recoil spring for Benelli M2, new magazine tube spring. A whole
spring of
assorted
sorts.
screw kit for dots. So Swamp Fox sells this. It's a full assortment. Basically has the screw for any dot that you're gonna need. Leatherman knife. Another wedge pack for leveling a scope that's not my scope mount. More springs, like this is a pack of springs for Benelli M2 for a trigger pack. Spare screws and wrench for like ELS, belt gear. Loctite. I don't know why this was in here, but for some reason I brought a 4-inch vernier caliper.
Gotta get your measurements right.
I even have in here, I'm not going to pull it out because it's actually tough, but a box of roll pins, assorted roll pins. It's a full kit from Brownells of assorted roll pins. More mag tube springs. This is that file kit I was telling you about, super fine file kit, just in case, clean up some burrs or anything.
Yeah, at least one mini file would be a good idea.
What do you need
Torque
to
wrench.
file?
So this is a digital indicating torque wrench. They'll do foot pounds, inch pounds.
Oh wow! Ooh, I need that. Ooh.
And it you can over torque, but it will vibrate, but you'll also get a readout of where you're at as well. So
Very handy.
wrench roll, all like mainly metric, because actually surprisingly most of the stuff is metric, or you can get a metric to work on it. So metric wrench roll. My gunsmithing screwdriver kit from Wheeler.
Full size.
Of course. Little mini screwdriver kit.
Sometimes you can just tell what this person works like day to day. Just like all the tools. Tools, yes.
Little torque screwdriver as well. Little field repair kit for rifle. These are Obsidian Arms punches. So this is these aren't for roll pin, these are just flat punches, but it folds up like super nice and small. And then this is their AR pin punch set. So this basically has every pin punch that you need to build or work on an AR.
Is there even so many pins on an AR?
Yes, there are.
Yes.
What?
Yep.
There's a
There's a
bunch of
couple.
ones.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
couple.
there's a few of them. Let's see. Strap wrench. Oh, there's my roll pin punches, because trying to use like a flat faced punch on a roll pin, not nice. Using a roll pin punch on a non-roll pin. No, so it can be done. I did that for a long time, but it's nice having the flat instead.
I'll start to walk.
Little bench block. There was a lot of Glock mag, so brought my Glock mag tool.
Glock mag tool. Yep. Real avid brand recommended.
Yeah, some Loctite, a few other random stuff. Wrench for an arrow handguard, because we were dealing with them, and that is needed to take the handguard on and off. I got chamber flags in there. I have tech locks and spare ELS clips in here, and that's pretty much it right now. But that's also
Don't have ear pros.
there actually is a spare pair of earmuffs in that other bag.
Ear
But
muffs. Golly.
But thing is, I run electronic in ear. If the battery dies,
Right.
okay, my hearing's protected, and I just have to listen harder to hear people. So I don't feel the need to have spare ones when I have those.
I'm usually just thinking that I forgot it.
Oh, they're in the console of my truck right now. They'd never leave my truck unless they're in my ears. So,
All right, I wrote some stuff down.
but yeah, that's disorganized way more than I need, but also stemming from basically working on a lot of different gear, not just my own.
Yeah, you have enough there to do gunsmithing in the field.
Yeah,
Yeah, not just like field repairs. What about you,
Yeah.
Dustin?
Oh my god. Okay, so in very similar fashion to Kyle, when I go to the range, I go prepared not just for me. A lot of my range activity is taking new people, especially new people, folks that maybe aren't comfortable or as used to guns as others. So I like to have everything to keep guns functional and also just like extra stuff. So okay, God, let's review. So obviously, oh my god, bring this as close down as possible. Obviously, you know, gun belt, standard stuff. What? I always keep some like shotgun cards in here as well. This thing is split up into. Actually, I guess I can kind of show you guys. I'll try. Oh no, that's not happening. It's stuck back there. This bag is separated out into like 3 sections. So I've kind of got like my section for all my important stuff. So Ear Pro, I like the electronic Ear Pro. I always have at least a couple of them for, you know, myself and whoever is lucky enough to get that pair of Ear Pro. I've got so much Ear Pro, like just over ear, in ear. I'll just like chuck a bunch of them in the bag, but these 2 live here. I've been pulling these like the extra earplugs. If there's a pocket in this, there's extra Ear Pro in it. I should just take this box out. Oh no, that is going to come apart if I do. Okay, so obviously we've got some lubricating oil, spraying stuff, which is useful. Of course, the hoppies, you know, a little bit more viscous. Love that. Flashlights also very important. Got the smaller, stick it in the action flashlight for different
Bore light?
reasons. Yeah, the bore light. Thank you. That was what I was looking for. So got the Allen wrench set. Everything that I've ever put on a gun, that thing can take off. Leatherman. This one's one that I haven't seen any of you guys mention. I always keep an extra trigger lock in here. I usually go with a lot of restricted stuff like that, and I have actually had. So I had one instance where a trigger lock went bad on me while I was at the range, and I was like, okay, well, this isn't probably gonna be a problem because just stick it on and go home. And then another one where I was shooting with someone, and usually like when I unlock everything, like all the trigger locks, everything just go back in the case when we take all the guns out. One of the trigger locks got lost for a while, and like it was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just grab one from the bag. It's, you know, fine. So it's a useful thing to have. All of my trigger locks are all comboed, so you know, I have a million of them. Warrior, bro. I've got a couple of different mag loaders. Got my Maglula. I got the Glock one as well, because again, when you're taking new folks shooting, I like to make them reload a little bit, and these are like an easier way to make that happen. I've got some for that, like a whole bunch of different chamber flags. Well, these ones are all the same, but I got a couple of other ones in here, and then some stuff that you guys will definitely think is unnecessary, because it is. I have different bags of shot, and if you're wondering why, this is because I take new people so often, and to explain to them exactly what is coming out of the shot shell that they're shooting, I found it useful to be able to actually just like hold up a little baggie, like, here, this is what you're, you know, firing out of this. This is what double-aught buckshot looks like. This is what birdshot looks like. I have to wash my hands.
This is like a teaching aid.
It's literally a teaching aid. So like that's why they're there. They're not there for me. They're there for
You
other
should
people.
print a 3D printed case for it in clear, and then just glue it and like permanently close it.
That
So
that
you
would
don't
be
have to touch
much better than my little baggies.
Dustin, I'll send you what I use for PAL instruction, and you'll just copy that and use it, because you just use like a little clear, like separated case, like you'd use for fishing tackle and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I will absolutely use that. Again, it's just useful. Honestly, it mostly sits in the bag. It's pretty rare that I don't have it. Something else that will entertain you guys, because there's so much of it. I have extra ammo. If there's like a caliber of a gun that I shoot, all right, I don't know if any of you guys have ever done this, but made it to the range, packed up everything, got the guns, got the mags, but like if you go shooting with like 12 different guns, you might forget ammo for one of them. I've done this, so now
Never.
I always have a little bit of ammo for everything. And yeah, it takes
That's a thing that my box has that you don't. I have a checklist before I leave.
So I appreciate a good checklist, but I also I like knowing that just like no matter what, like I will always go through my bag before I leave, but every once in a while, you know, if you like have like kind of an impromptu trip where you just kind of want to go randomly, you know, some friend shows up, hey, let's go shoot guns. I don't have to think about it. Throw the mags in like the center portion of my bag here, which is like the portion that's usually empty. And I know whatever I need is kind of in here, right? The other really important thing is my cleaning kit. This is a super basic range cleaning kit. You know, we've got our patches, got our rod. That's another flag. Some extra wrenches, another chamber flag. Oh, that's a little vortex optics tool, the adjusting optics. Yeah, I've got like wrenches in here for every little fiddly bit, all in this nice little case here. A couple of different cleaners. You know, some wire brushes, like that one's a 22, I think. And anyway, so like, you know, just super, super basic. I can more or less deal with any of the like necessities relatively quickly. I just pulled this out, my little sleeve of different batteries. Everything's really reflective, but got all your important ones. You know, got the CR123s. What do we? Just like everything. If I have an optic or a flashlight, I have batteries for it. I had like other batteries for like my AA's and AAA's.
3D print a case for yourself.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
You have a printer. Just do it.
Oh, I've got the little screwdrivers in here too. I just pulled one of them out, but the little adjustment screwdrivers, those are essential. It's just a couple of like the most basic and essential ones in here. Nothing crazy. And then like getting into like a couple of different hats. I even have more hat. I've got so many hats. I don't usually wear them unless I'm at the range, but somebody else wants a hat. Maybe it's a sunny day, or they just want to keep brass from flying out of flying in their face. Got like a dozen different types of gloves. Again, you go out shooting with new folks, and it's cold outside, and their hands get cold. So I've got a couple of different sizes of shooting gloves, different flavors, extra belt components. So my belt's usually set up for my SIG, but then I've got like the Glock equivalent of my of that just clips onto my holster with the thigh strap. Extra clips for my shotgun rig, because we don't usually do high shot shell count, so I don't usually need more than one caddy, but I've got the ability to do a couple of these. And again, extra mag pouches, more shotgun cards. Notebook's super useful. Again, you're writing down your dope or whatever. That's a handy thing to have. One of my favorite essentials. Keep a spare pair of socks in my bag. If anybody's ever had cold or wet feet and you're stuck, dry, warm socks are the best thing in the world.
That's in my car kit, though. I have a change of clothes, like everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, but we were talking about fire, so again, got the fire kit, some more paper, some patches. Oh, we got some matches there. These, you can make fun of me for these, but I actually do bring an MRE in my bag.
MRE, nice.
There's been days where like we thought we were gonna go out for lunch or something. We're like, no, actually, we're gonna keep shooting, or we'll go out into the bush, and everybody's there hungry, and I have them a little. I'm like, okay, this is not like great food, but it's good and it's warm. Couple of bottles of water in here as well. What's on that side? And then I haven't seen you guys talk about any like IFAC stuff, but got the IFAC thing, some quick clot, bunch of CC. Oh yeah. There's more.
Yeah, my IFAC sitting on the back seat of my.
Yeah, where it probably
too big to fit.
I've got a pouch in the top of my bag that like it rotates open, so I've got like IFAC stuff all on like one side.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like the essentials. So and like I said, you got the trauma kit as well, quick clot in there, and emergency, safety scissors, all that stuff. And then the other side, this is where all my regs go and all my CCFR stuff, and should put some Slamfire pouches in there too. Oh, and apparently, oh my god, so much ear pro. Yeah. It's like, just see the handful of like ear pro I just pulled out of that spot, because again, you can
3D print a case for that.
You 3D model a case for it, and I'll 3D print it.
I'm pretty sure there's quite a few out there already.
We got CCFR cards, stickers, reading material. I hand this stuff out. It is bananas how often I've gone to the range and just shooken someone's hand and been like, "Yeah, hey, I'm field officer with the CCFR. Do you familiar with the CCFR?" And folks are almost always, "No, never heard of her." And so I'm like, "Okay, well, here, let me give you some reading material and a lanyard, and maybe go consider joining us."
You need like a CCFR field officer media kit.
I almost do, but it's
bag.
like there's enough space in this bag. And then we were talking about regs. So I still have my old ATT in here, all of my restricted registration certificates, and then something that I guess is like just for my own entertainment purposes, but it's actually an idea that Rod had suggested, and I've always done it, is having the like safe transport and storage rules. I have a copy from the RCMP printed out. It's on the top of all of my regs. I never had anybody give me any crap about it, but it's there.
Good idea.
Yeah, and it's all in like, I keep it in a big plastic Ziploc, and it lives in my bag. It never gets wet. Batteries, Ear Pro. Oh, I forgot my my bag of safety glasses. I've got safety glasses for days. I've got 5 or 6 pairs of clear safety glasses, a couple tinted ones, like a couple yellow tinted ones, a couple of dark tinted ones. So I've got shooting glasses for whatever the light mode might be for myself and at least one friend, and anybody else, screw you, you get clear safety glasses, deal with it. yeah, so like that's the bulk of what's. Obviously, I didn't bring it up, but staple gun, extra staples, those are also essential equipment when you're going to the range. But we're not done. Forgot about the back.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. One of my armorer's wrenches, even though again, like this almost doesn't have a use
Applies
there
to fewer
anymore.
and fewer guns out there.
Does it ever?
Is
Don't
there
remind
even a
me.
gun that uses it still? The R9, that's it.
Probably. I don't know. I don't know. I've got a couple of these things, so
Well, you can always use them, fair.
yeah. Well, it doesn't really need to be in my range bag anymore, but I don't know. Still, it lives there. I have one for my tool chest here too. Extra sling.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's actually a good one too. Firearms legal defense insurance card. I keep all of that stuff on my phone. I have some what do you call them? Holders for clays. Yeah. And then like the posts for those as well. And then I've got my squib rod in here too. But yeah, that's more or less like the bulk of what it just is my default going to the range, and it kind of builds up from there because I'll bring like the actual. I've got another toolkit that's like my gun cleaning kit that's got everything, and if we're going with more than a few guns, I'm going to bring that because it's got an extra set of tools, like every kind of lube known to man, more thick, less like more viscous, less viscous. Cleaners, everything under the sun. So if anybody's ever seen any of my like Facebook posts when I used to take people out, we'd bring out 15 guns and something would go wrong with one of them, and you like to be equipped for that. Yeah. Tony, what about you?
I'm relatively new to this. I really don't have much to show, but I do have my list up. So there's a few things I would like to add. Cardboard backings. Sometimes your range, either the back was too shot out, so you have to put something on top of it. So I have that in the car. A bucket, because I'm a brass rat, so you have to have your bucket. I have energy bars instead of MREs. My range isn't too far away from civilization, so energy bar will get me out to food, I guess. Close enough. I just got myself a clipboard with storage, but I need to find a different one. That one is very rattly and very, how do you say, razor sharp. But the clipboard does help. If depends on what kind of surface you get to write on at your range. For us, it's either the camping table that's kind of like a web mesh, so you can't really write on it. And that's also a good place to put your printed targets. For example, this guy over here. I always have extra water in my range bag, specifically. I already carry extra water in my car, but I don't know. I consume a lot of water, especially in the summertime, so I just found that to be important. I don't know. Maybe it reduces my stress a little bit. That's about it. Comparing to Adriel's kit, I really don't have too much more, but I do carry a very cheap but complete cleaning kit that rolls up, and that will have a rod in it. I do have a heavier duty rod in the range bag as well, just for squib situations. Generally speaking, if I'm attending a match, someone would have one, but if I'm going there myself, BTSA isn't typically on a weekday, for example, isn't very populated. So if you want to keep shooting, you got to figure that problem out. That's about it for me. Not a whole lot.
I also do keep a spare plastic bag for brass. I'm a brass goblin too. So I'm not a bucket. I have a big heavy bag.
So my big takeaway from everyone going through, like everyone has a completely different setup and think about it differently. Like Tony's got spare water and stuff in his range bag. It's just interesting to hear that people like combining everything just into one bag versus, okay, this is in there, like this is my truck. And like I know I got stuff like you were mentioning the squib rod. Well, I got the pistol, squib rod, and brush in my actual range bag. So my stuff is just spread out. I don't have just one place for everything.
But you are really going above and beyond what a consumer would do, and like kind of elevating into a business section.
Well, and that was my major match stuff. And that's what I was complaining about, where I have to basically unload that and put it in that every time I'm going to a major match.
Yeah, that's not efficient, no.
Yeah. Yeah, water and that kind of thing I typically just put in the car. If I need a little, I'll take a little. If I need a lot, I'll take a blue jug and never have to
well, and
worry
that's
about
where my rig, like I got the cooler in the back. It stays there, so there's always water in there. I got the IFAC that's always in there. Like it pretty much stays trail ready, camp ready most of the time. So
yeah. I think so just from listening to you guys here, here's some ideas I'm gonna steal. Okay, the squib rod. So I have a collapsible rod, cleaning rod, but if you ever try to use that on a squib, you'll wreck it.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'm gonna
I
get
think if you're using a rod on a squib, you're sacrificing that rod to get that squib out.
No, you don't have to. You can get a brass rod. So I'm gonna get a brass
like a
rod.
welding thing, right?
3/32. It's 0.20. That'll do a 22. And then I'm also going to get a 30 cal rod, a short one, 10 inches, and that's for pistol. Getting a squib out of a pistol, and I'm going to leave those in my car. Never take them out, because like the length of that thing, that squib rod, I don't want to have in my gun bag or anything like that. I don't have to deal with it. CR 2032. Okay, granted, you've convinced me. I'll put one of those in there. Pipe cleaner, I'm gonna bring along just because it's just easy. Like you can compact it down, and it's great for cleaning and that kind of thing.
I've got to pick some of those up and try them instead of the
so
Q-tips.
good.
I found my name tag from when I did my Project Maple Seed, like my first one years ago.
You're supposed to leave the name tag behind and just take the paper part off. Stole it.
I'll send it back to you.
Ballistol, like mini spray bottle. I like Ballistol because it's non-toxic, so I can go ham with it. I'm not going to use anything else. I have a bunch of these little grease, like synthetic grease things here. Again, I'm going for compact. I'm not carrying around like a 50-pound bag of tools with you guys. A lighter, I like that. That's more practical than the matches. Chamber flag, yes. There's been a couple times I've been in a match and haven't had chamber flags. And in terms of the toolkit kit, I'm going to take an Allen key set, which I have some spare Allen keys. So there's my metric. I've also got Imperial. I'll throw those in there. I'll have to pick up like one of those Torx multis and use that socket set. I just got one of these. I was at Canadian Tire the other day after our episode, and they had a small set on sale.
Oh yeah.
And this has all the sockets I'm reasonably going to find on a firearm. Maybe not the ones I'm going to find on my car. That's not going to do that, but that'll do it. A mini file, a really small file. I like that because there's every once in a while it's like, oh, looks like you got a burr right there. Well, the file will take it out. An small adjustable wrench.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I forgot Sharpies, the silver one for the day that you need that for your sights, and the black one the day you need that for anything else.
Or the silver one, like you didn't mark your mags, and you're like, everyone's running block mags. Oh shit! Now you got to mark them, right? I prefer to use like a paint pen for that, like something that'll leave it permanent. But
and then
that's a good idea.
The standard issue trigger trainer that everybody should keep in their bag.
Yeah, Loctite was a good idea that I heard there, and I had with one of the I don't know what gun thing I had. They came with like little baggies of like sealed bags of Loctite. I'm never going to need this, and when I do, I'll use it and I'll throw it out. So I decided I'd keep that. Bench block is a good one. I'm going to throw a bench block in there. It's always nice to hit against something that's not just a wooden table at the range. Castle nut wrench, I'm going to pull that one off. I'm not actually going to take that one. And a mini hammer, a small hammer is something I'm going to take, just so I'm not using like some caveman, like a rock or some stoop like that to knock things out. But a small hammer, like I have a small ball peen hammer that's small and compact, and that's all I'll take. Don't need a huge like head on it. You're not going to be bashing anything. And that's it. I think I'm going to fit my stuff in a pretty small bag because I'm looking at most of it right now, and it's not that much.
Like I want to get it so that basically like I have like a armorer's kit, I have a basic range kit, armor's
Mhm.
kit, and then I just have like a parts kit that's like, okay, these are spare parts, and then it's just quit having stuff in a million different places, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Impossible to get away from that.
There's a couple of things I've got to put back in here because I definitely had an adjustable wrench and a multi-bit screwdriver that I have stolen recently.
It's funny how that happens,
right? Which is why we got to go through our kits every once in a while. Honestly, like we're just at the beginning of season, so it was time anyway. So I think I'm gonna actually get to go to the next. There's one on May 10th that I think I'm gonna go to. So
Ooh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Anything else to talk about kits?
well, I would throw a disclaimer at the end, like especially with mine, and like not everybody, or even like Dustin's, like you're some good ideas for the instruction and whatnot, but you don't need to go overkill. Kind of,
you don't need 20.
Basically, what Adriel's building off of this is pretty much what I think you should be able to. You fix your gun on the range with that. You don't need everything under the sun. Like I'm talking major kit because you go to this competition and you want to get going. So like usually there's a spare bolt in there. Like there's parts that are usually in there at a major that aren't. That you pretty much build a gun with what I bring in there.
Well, it's
But
just simple.
you don't. That's on a multi-day major 400-person match. That's not like even a small local match. Like that kit doesn't come to me with me to a local match.
It's just economics though, because you took the time off, you spent the money, you drove them hours, you spend the money on hotels, you spend the money on accommodations to attend this, generally speaking, registration not cheap match. So you want to do well in that.
Yeah, I'm just don't want people to think like, oh well, really, I need to bring all that. No, you don't need to bring all that to the range.
If I can make a recommendation, whoa, that didn't work. This is my favorite size of range bag. It's not overly awful. I love my little Sailor Moon patch too. I got it from one of my queer gun friends. Yeah, but anyway, everything that the average person is going to go to the range with, like you should be able to fit everything in a bag like this, including your water, your snacks, all of your junk. You don't need anything bigger, honestly, like at all.
My stuff's going to my vehicle and it's going to stay in there inside the, like underneath the flipper flapper trunk kind of a thing. And it's just going to stay there, never move. I'm never going to look at it.
I've had too much stuff stolen out of like all of my vehicles to leave things in anymore. Like that used to be my ethos, was always have everything in the car. And then everything got stolen out of the car, and then everything got stolen out of the next car. And then I had somebody steal a bunch of crap out of my truck. And so then I stopped leaving anything I cared about in those spaces.
Being in crime-ridden Edmonton, I've never had to deal with this.
So surprised by
Anyways,
that.
cool. Okay, let's get on to listener feedback. Looks like we got an email here. I'll just read this one up. Hey, folks, just wanted to wish you the best in the upcoming elections. I don't know much about Canadian politics and how your different parties interact, but I can say one thing for sure: ignore the polls. As Dustin pointed out, you can make a poll come out any way you want by slight phrasing changes in the questions and by having non-representative population of respondents. But there is something else that shows up in elections that can negate poll results. It's been called the shy Tory effect because it was first described when Margaret Thatcher unexpectedly won, contrary to all the polling. And we've seen it in the US twice now in both of Donald Trump's races. The simple explanation is that people will often tell a pollster what they think they want to hear, but then vote completely different. This last U.S. election was a pretty good example. Supposedly, Trump and Harris were neck and neck in the polling. This was even reported by very reputable polling companies that went through a lot of effort to get real results. But when the votes were counted, not only didn't Trump handily win the number of states he needed, he beat Harris soundly in the popular vote as well. The only poll that matters is the one at the voting booth. You can ignore all the rest. From Spencer in Smyrna. P.S. You can forget about Trump trying to annex Canada. He'll be impeached as soon as he tried something that foolish. But if some provinces wanted to voluntarily join the U.S., you'd be more than welcome. You could use some common sense. We could use some common sense on our left coast. And then P.P.S. I'm writing this on the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Concord in Lexington. Kelly will understand what that means to a lot of Americans, and especially to folks like me who grew up just a few miles away from those battlefields before moving here to Georgia. Remember that on this day, 250 years ago, a small group of people took on the most powerful army in the world just to keep them from seizing their guns. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate what Spencer said. So what Spencer was describing has been demonstrated in the neighbor question, the neighbor vote question. If you all haven't seen this or heard about this, okay, how will you be voting in this election? How do you think your neighbors will be voting in this election? And when that question gets asked, you get a lot more conservative suggestions. And the idea is somebody that might feel a little bit too shy to admit to voting conservative might say, well, my neighbor's probably going to vote conservative. Well, yeah, a lot of people in our neighborhood are voting conservative. And that has the few people that have been asking that question have seen results that are kind of in line with what Spencer's talking about.
That is very interesting. I'm thinking maybe because I'm in Alberta, that's not really
people are
a
pretty
factor because, like, okay, conservative.
You're in Calgary,
conservative.
though. The cities aren't all conservative. My
No.
area, it's.
I
it's
work
not
in a
blowout.
very traditional industry company, so I think my perception is influenced by that too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks, Spencer. I don't know, Kyle, Tony, one of you guys want to read the YouTube comments?
Yeah, I'll do the YouTube comments. We have 2 comments from Eddie. The first one is regarding Kelly joining episode 601. You could call this episode 600A. So Kelly did not miss episode 600. And the second comment, Tony, maybe next time pattern the SS211. It was Dave's gun, not mine. Foothill Farm training, Dave. I think the gun just changed hands too. There was another person in the friend group who picked it up. Pattern the SS211 on paper was a point of aim, then you would know where it shoots. That seems like a lot of effort for a meme, but okay. That's it for our YouTube comments.
Eddie, we are having random people on. You should come for a visit on Monday. Yeah.
Say your 2 cents about the election.
Yeah.
Hopefully before it's decided.
Yeah.
I think it'll be decided at the very end.
I hope so. Hope they decide at some point.
Yeah.
Richard was saying solid brass rods for squibs are cheap on Amazon. Actually, Home Depot's got those too, and Princess Auto. If you, I think it's 330 seconds. One of them is like 20 cal, and that one's perfect for 22 caliber rifles. So I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna go after the show actually today and go pick up some brass.
I miss
rods.
Princess Auto.
You have Harbor Freight though.
It's not. No.
No,
It does not touch Princess Auto.
Huh, I thought it was better.
Princess Auto is so hard to find anything.
You can buy everything you need for any hydraulic system, anything you want, a trailer, everything. Quite literally, you could build pretty much anything from Princess Auto. You can't do that with Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight does have some good stuff, but it's no Princess Auto.
But you get the Power Fister stickers with Harbor Freight. You get to stick those all over the place. The gays are always entertained.
Richard's saying you get the multi-packs from Amazon, split with a friend or 3. Well, I'll take a look at the pricing on there before I go to Home Depot, because that might save me a trip. We're on Discord and stuff like that. Go over there. Cabela's link, I'm not going to do that this week. We'll do that coming up sometime or another. Thanks to our supporters on Patreon and Player. If you'd like to support us, you can find us on those platforms. And if you'd like to email the show, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Does anyone have any shout outs or recommendations?
Crap, I had a shout out, but it's gone now. Shout out to Scott at the International Shooting Center for getting me that pin when everybody else told me to go pound sand.
Really?
Dude, I called like 30 different places trying to find someone to help me replace an $8 pin for my shotgun. And Scott was
Western
like, yeah, I'll find it.
Western Gun Parts?
I think I did.
They would have it. They would have it. They have everything. But they're kind of a pain to deal with.
I don't know. Scott found two for me and brought them in at a reasonable price.
Is it just because Remington's out of business? Well, out and back into business.
Yeah, pretty much. They're just making new guns and not parts. So, yeah.
Banana Ballistics has a new one on Rat Shot. It's kind of fun. Watch that.
Ooh.
I'll give a shout out to Adriel for hosting the match. Might need to crash in your basement for a day.
Nope.
No,
Not my basement.
okay.
We're gonna be at the range. We're just working on getting camping set up for it right now. For guests. It's already set up for members. Any other recos? All right, join our Discord server. So Discord's like kind of like an online chat kind of a thing. It's great. Go on there. We post stuff there all the time. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Player. Join us. Join the CCFR, and we'll see you next week. Or wait, we'll see you on Monday.
Sooner
Yeah,
than
Monday.
next
On
week.
Monday.
We'll see you on election day.
For our election coverage episode.
Fantastic. All right, later.
Night.
Good night, Kelly.
Good night, everybody.